So, it's David here, and it is currently day 400. I hope you guys had an amazing day and, like always, are doing better than yesterday. So, today, me and my family went to this opulence hotel. We went there to walk in to try their buffet, as me myself am a pretty picky eater. And as we walked into this beautiful lobby, my auntie was greeted by this very beautiful and happy waiter. She showed us to our table, but although to some reason that I am not too surprised myself, my auntie broke out on rage because the waiter put us in this table where it is not open to anywhere. It is not near the windows. It is not near a beautiful view as you would expect from most opulence restaurants. And therefore, my auntie was a bit angry. And she is a workaholic. She is a very independent lady. So it is quite expected of her to be such enraged when things don't go her way. So I was not surprised in a way to see her broke out. But for some odd reason today, I didn't not just feel her anger and disappointment, but I also felt the other energy of the waiter. I felt in a way not sorry for her, but I empathize with her. I sympathize, if those two have any different meaning word. But I felt what she felt, not because in a way that how my auntie broke out, but because I felt that she herself perhaps had to put up with this thing, this disappointment, this fit of rage that is not even personal, but sometimes you cannot tell the difference if the criticism and the accusations are made towards you as an hospitality worker, or it is just that the guest is having a bad day. And I felt her energy of almost nervousness and this sense of just reservedness that she wanted to pull out of the situation, not knowing what she could do. Because I do believe if we all were in her shoes, we would ourselves be in this very awkward and powerless position, being criticized, being shouted at, being screamed at, being looked in a very unpleasant way never makes anyone happy, no matter how much of a professional posture you can hold. Nobody likes to be screamed in the face. So, because of this, I really wanted to just go out of my way and find this waiter around the restaurant and try to tell her and apologize for my auntie's attitude, for my auntie's explosion of rage. I really wanted to be there and explain to her, and hopefully to not make this experience ruin her day, even though I know that she perhaps got used to it. But it was just this energy I sensed, because perhaps that being compassionate was always one of my stronger suits. However, because I have weaknesses, like all of human, like you and me, we all have positives and negatives. We all have strength and flaws. And my flaw is being that I sometimes, well, mostly overthink about the situation. You see, in my position, I was just as unsure if I would have offended my auntie by perhaps going over to her and trying to sympathize with her, or if I went up to her and I sympathized with her and then I may have made myself a fool. But to be honest, the latter wasn't something of my concern, because you can never really make yourself a fool by trying to experience what it is that the other person is experiencing. You are in a way sharing their living. You are reflecting their emotions back at them. And everybody, in a way, will appreciate that, because humans love it if you are sincere with them, if you are sincere with their interests, if you are sincere with their feelings, if you can be someone who understands them. As me and as people, I strongly believe we crave that sincerity. We crave that authenticity that so many people just are either faking it to gain some kind of reaction, or are afraid, like I was today, to truly express them. Now, you see, the whole point of this story, if it had made any sense to you guys yet, was the point of we have to communicate and be bold enough to show our strong suits, because we all have these strengths, but our strength is mostly diminished by our flaws. There's nothing wrong to be compassionate. However, nobody can experience our natural gift if our compassionate and empathetic souls are diminished by our timidness, by our hesitation. You see, I cannot say for certain if I had went through with my thought today without hesitation that there would not have been somebody I could not have offended. There could be endless possibilities, and we can continue to guess as humans if the choice we make today are going to be the right or wrong choice, or if the choice we make in this moment will guarantee that it will be no consequences in the future. We cannot say for certain how the future will turn out. But if we have this excessive condition to overthink about if we are making the right choice, then we may just give our thoughts paralysis to think and to act. And when we don't act on something that we are unsure, then we are just merely replaying a past that we already know the conclusion to. And that is, for me in this situation specifically, is to keep quiet and listen and see how the story unfolds without my own attempt at influencing a different ending. See, the point I really want to make today is that there's nothing wrong to really express yourself, guys. There's nothing wrong to express yourself, because you never know what is going to happen. And by this, I do not mean be a fool. I do not mean to be a fool and do something totally wrong. But then again, you may ask me, how could I know if what I feel is wrong or right? How could I know if what I am doing right now is exactly something acceptable by society? Then I could just ask you to answer this question for me. If what you are thinking of doing, ask yourself, would you appreciate something like what you are thinking today if somebody else had done this onto you? And if that answer is yes, then perhaps what you thought to do may be right, but it is only undone because you are held back by some flaws that you are not willingly accepting to overcome. And obviously, if the answer is no, then perhaps you may be wise enough to think that maybe what I have to say or think I want to say may not be appreciated onto the other person. Therefore, maybe I should think of something else. See, I do believe we all have this common knowledge to distinguish what is acceptable and not acceptable. We all have this idea of what we like others to do for us and not to do for us. And if we have this ability to distinguish what we want and what we don't want, then I'm sure we all know that what we should do and should not do. And if you have something you want to do and you appreciate somebody who does it onto you, then perhaps the reason why you haven't done it today, if you want to do it on other people, is because you are afraid of something and you have to overcome. But don't worry, this is a journey. Me will help you guys to overcome together. We will overcome ourselves. Because although there are so many things that we are scared of, and there are so many things that we want to do in this world, but because we set this limitation on ourselves that we do not yet do. But I do believe once we allow our thoughts to just let go, once we allow life to just live on without our own sense of obstruction, then we can truly become free to live the world with endless possibilities.